Should I go down here? Should we go down here?
You're listening to Oilersnation Radio, presented by the Nation Network. Subscribe for free on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Oilersnation Radio on a Tuesday. You'd think we'd be celebratory mood today, but the Oilers start 0-2. Is it a disaster? No. Is it annoying? You're fucking right, it is. We'll get there.
It's not as much fun as I thought we'd be having right now.
We'll get there. But today, we can be a little bit salty. That's why we started off with a delicious debate for our friends at Oodle Noodle, 16 locations and counting. If you are in Edmonton, go by any of the Edmonton locations. Grab yourself some spring rolls, some green onion cakes, maybe a Tokyo glaze, and a free Oilers Nation sticker. Got it? Good. Tyler?
Yep.
We start off with a delicious debate every single podcast. What have you got for us today?
Here's what I got for you guys today.
Here we go.
0-2 start. Not ideal. A lot of people freaking out. Some of it a little unnecessary. But the question to the group is there anything to be legitimately concerned about?
I'll jump in. I mean, panic concerned? No. First of all, that is the most important. No.
Yeah.
If I'm concerned, it probably would be that the Oilers have scored one 5-on-5 goal in 2 games, and the only people to register point are the first unit power play people, even though 3 of them got a point on the lone 5-on-5 goal. So I guess if I'm picking, lack of 5-on-5 scoring is a concern for me through 2 games.
I just don't think we haven't found our identity yet. You know, I think there's something to be said about us not really having one over the last couple of years, and they're trying to figure out exactly who we are, what we do. But they're out there and they're not really doing anything as a team quite yet. They don't have that power play yet. They're not dominating 5-on-5. They're not out there, blowing past everybody yet. Yeah. They're kind of just out there playing. So if game 2 was game 1, like we spoke of it, then I'm not terribly upset. But with game 2 being right after game 1 and the way those 2 go together, I'm not very happy with it. But I'm not worried or afraid or anything quite yet. I think 2 games is too small. It's too small of a sample size. And even if it was 8-0 both games for us, I think you'd kind of have to be in the same spot.
I'll phrase it a different way. 2 games. Nobody should freak out.
No.
Certainly something has annoyed you in those 2 games.
Yeah, we just haven't looked like this team should, and they can play. And in order for them to win the cup, like a lot of people expect to, like the most people in this room do it, like I do myself, they can't win it by playing like this. Can they play better? Yeah, they can play a hell of a lot better. It's got to happen. Get to it, guys.
I think where I'll push back on kind of what you said, or my counterpoint to it is, I don't think it's that they haven't found their identity. It's that their identity is the same thing it always has been, and we just don't like it. Their identity through 2 games is McDavid and Draisaitl or nothing.
Well, it should be at this point. That third line has to be able to take. Yeah, and that's
what we've never seen that.
No, but I mean that's our next step in our evolution of the team right now as we try and make our way up for the cup. That third line needs to take a step this year. Mm-hmm. That second line needs to. The top 6 needs to go there and dominate pretty much whoever you're playing, because I don't care who we're playing. It's going to be very difficult for them to put out 3 players better than the 3 forwards we have out there.
Liam, what do you think?
Something I'm concerned about is the lack of effort in the defensive zone. I think when Tyler and I watched back the goals from the other night, you see the first 2 goals go in and they're both tips in front. And those guys are so untouched. And one of them is Hoglander, who's the smallest guy on the ice. Like, why is nobody just bullying that guy away from the front of the net? And it just seems like nobody wants to play on one side of the red line. Everyone wants to attack and be aggressive on the other side, which we saw on the first goal of the game from the Oilers, but in the second half of the ice, and everyone goes untouched. And I think there needs to be more discipline back there and accountability to making a better effort. And I think that'll go. I think the Oilers would have won that game if they had better work ethic in the defensive zone. If you look at all 4 of their goals, I'm not trying to take away anything from the Canucks because they scored 4 goals. We scored 3. But they didn't really have to work too hard for their goals.
So just try it as hard at being defensive as they do at being offensive.
Yeah.
Simple.
Basically, that's it. Play a good 2-way game.
Be as proud in the defensive zone as you are in the offensive zone.
I couldn't agree more.
Should we be printing these out and maybe sending them down?
Well, actually, what I think these could be, right,
FedEx them right in there.
Do you know sometimes when you go to a house and it's like, dream big, and it's like a big sticker on the wall? We could do that in this room.
Praying and loving for years now.
Forever, yeah. Yeah, just do it. Another one. That could be in here, right there.
So we
Work hard at both ends of the ice.
So we need a bunch of stickers, and then somebody in this room has to find a way to get into the dressing room and start posting them everywhere.
We do have inside men.
Gregor.
Zach Lang right now is at Commonwealth Stadium to interview Kevin Lowe as part of the Heritage Classic festivities.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get Kevin Lowe on board.
I think you do.
I'm going to agree with you for my answer, BM, and just say the lack of support from the other top 6, top 9 pieces. Like the third line has been fine. They haven't scored, but through 2 games, I'm not looking at them being like, oh, you need to score a bunch of goals every 2 games for like you to be successful. Third line can just break even every 3-4 games, have a good night offensively, and like you'll probably be somewhat happy with that. The Kane, Hyman, Nugent 5-on-5 at least, they haven't done enough. And I think that's a big reason why
Brown's not even in the top 6.
Oh yeah, Connor Brown. Yeah, I forgot about Connor Brown. Like reading off, there's only 4 names I had to remember, and I forgot Connor Brown.
I've got the line combos here. We'll get to that in a second. Nation Dan, what are you kind of concerned about through 2 games, even though it's too early to press any kind of panic button?
Yeah. First of all, I would be more concerned with, I think, the preseason hype around the Vancouver Canucks. I think that that's a good team out there, and I think that they're going to be in the mix for the playoffs. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is just kind of building off what you guys have already said, which is just the forwards in the top 6 have to be more dangerous in the offensive zone and creating more chances. So yeah, it's frustrating for a team that last year felt like any game they were in, even if there was a 2-goal deficit, you were still in it, but it doesn't feel like it right now.
And I think they'll get there.
Yep.
They have to realize every team is going to come out against them and give them their best
Circled on the calendar.
You know, like if you go through the whole list of prognosticators and who they pick to win the cup, I think we're probably in the majority.
Of course.
So these guys need to realize that and understand that you're going to be getting the best from your opposition every
Different
night.
chapter of the same story is like last night. You're telling me that the Chicago Blackhawks didn't go into Toronto and want to make some noise there?
Well, I was going to say too, the Carolina Hurricanes.
It's not like their fans are.
Yeah,
The Carolina Hurricanes were probably the second most cited team by prognosticators out there, and they just got thrashed by the Anaheim Ducks.
But Anaheim did have great jerseys on, so I understand how they got that extra low power.
Which ones did they have on? Mighty Ducks?
Mighty Ducks ones.
Yeah.
I didn't like them as much.
You don't like
I think the colors are cool.
I think they're fine. I wasn't a big fan of the logo, but I would be a fan of the Ducks going to that color scheme full time.
I want to hear from you if you're listening to this. ON Radio Podcast, Twitter, and Instagram. What's upsetting you right now? Yes, the results are annoying. No, we shouldn't be panicking. There are reasons to be upset. To me, 5-on-5 scoring. Where are you at? Where are you at? Maybe a save. Maybe a save might be nice.
No one said that.
Not to hang it on Stu, but like,
I can't even look at the guys in the crease yet.
I can on 1 goal.
I can. I will point a finger at him. You need to be better.
Rick, it's just
the guys out. If the 5 guys outside the crease start playing, but that's who we are. We're not a goalie first team. We're an offense first team. Those guys need to drive.
When you shoot
this team.
41 shots on net to 16 and you lose 4-3, it's kind of like, yeah.
That Lafferty goal can't go in. He didn't play that 2-on-0 goal great, but it's a 2-on-0, so fine.
2-0.
But Rick, we sit there and go, oh, it got deflected in front of the crease. Can't blame Stu. This happened. Can't blame Stu. Can't blame
Jack. At the other end of the ice, Casey DeSmith is standing on his head.
And every team you play is making crazy saves on McDavid and Draisaitl and all these guys, like big stops on quality chances. Like, stop more quality chances. Like modern goalies should be stopping a good chunk of the quality chances they face. Oilers goalies aren't doing that.
This team needs to score more.
Yes, he does. Number one, he doesn't have a single goal.
No, I said this team
I thought you said Stu needs to score more. And I'm like, he doesn't even have a single
1 goal in that first game.
Not even a point.
Not even one.
But I think too, like, I agree with what Tyler said. Like, you look at San Jose and Colorado the other night, like Mackenzie Blackwood made like 50 something saves.
51, yeah.
And Colorado still managed to come away with a 2-1 win because their goalie made saves.
Yeah, I mean, your goalie, yeah, it does help. But right now, I'm focused more on the guys outside the crease. That's our biggest issue right now. And
I think on that 4th goal, the game-winning one from Lafferty, when you look back at it, there's a mistake from Connor Brown in the offensive zone because he doesn't get the puck off the boards. Mm-hmm. That immediately leads into a transition from Vancouver, and then Ekholm is beaten.
Ekholm looked rusty.
By a step. And then he recovers pretty well, to his credit. And then Lafferty gets a shot away.
Stoppable shot.
Stu's got to stop that, but it was a...
But then Ekholm's got to make the A, but then Brown's got to do his. So it just compounds.
You just need your goalie to make that save. And the Oilers win that game.
And there were moments.
If Brown does his thing, then that doesn't get there.
But there were moments where the Canucks coughed up a lot of pucks behind their own goal line.
Casey DeSmith bailed them out.
And Casey DeSmith bailed them out. Oilers didn't get bailed out. Which, like, yeah, they played bad, but it's also just worth noting that, like, throughout the course of a year, you'd like to be bailed out a little bit.
100%. But yeah, at this point, still, I'm just looking at the guys with the sticks.
I'm looking at all
outside the crease.
I don't think that there are many guys in Oilers jerseys that could be like, you know what, first 2 games gone well for me.
No, the whole team, if you're looking in the mirror, nobody can be happy with themselves.
That's what I'm getting at.
Would there be one?
Holloway's not going to be too terribly upset with this game.
But he's just probably the best of the worst.
Power play starting to come alive.
Yeah.
You'd like to see that. PK, still an issue.
Feels so bad.
I really like the third.
Dude's not even in the league anymore. What are you mad at him about?
Maybe we should.
Some good opportunities.
Yeah.
Third line.
I want to hear from you.
Yeah.
What's annoying you right now about the Edmonton Oilers? Hit us up. ON Radio Podcast, Twitter, and Instagram. I want to know. Tonight, Nashville. We're going to do a little preview. Going to do it for our friends at Century Mile, Racetrack and Casino. You're looking for something to do this weekend? Why not go check out the ponies? Once you're done with the ponies, why don't you go downstairs and hit up the tables? When you're done with the tables, wander back on upstairs and hit up the buffet.
Diversity.
You're getting your steps in, getting your stairs in, you're getting all kinds of activities in.
Believe that they do call that, Rick, diversifying your portfolio.
I believe
Winning
exactly.
on ponies, winning on tables.
Yeah, you can't just gamble in the NFL. That's what the NHL's for.
The dual threat.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's part of my retirement plan.
And if you don't, the buffet is always a win.
True, you can never fail at a buffet.
100%. I love a buffet. Century, a Mile, Racetrack, and Casino. Go check them out. They are good people, and you're going to have a great time when you're out there. Let's look ahead at tonight's game against the Nashville Predators. So you guys mentioned some new line combos. I have got them for you. Let me know what you think. Let me go through the top 6 first. Kane, Draisaitl, McDavid. Nuclear option, back together, game 3. Line 2, Fogle, Nuge, Hyman. Line 3, Holloway, McLeod, Brown. Line 4, Ernie, Janmark, Ryan. Tyler Yamchuk.
Fourth line doesn't really have me believing in it a whole heck of a lot after what we saw kind of in their first game together. I'm not sure if Warren Fogel's the guy that deserved a promotion. I'm not sure if I like going nuclear in the 3rd game of the season for the entire game.
I know you don't like that.
Let me see. Like, do you think?
But I also am a guy who sat here and was like, if you think it gives you your best chance to outscore the other team by 3 or 4 goals, then just do it for the whole game. Like, yeah, I hate the whole half pregnant approach of like, we'll start with them separate. And then if it's not going well, then we'll just go to them. Like, either do it or don't. So I somewhat props for just saying, F it, I'm doing it, but I still don't like it.
I wonder how much, and of course it's not a must-win game. That's ridiculous in game 3, but spiritually, I wonder if they go, all right, boys, we got to win this fucking game.
Well, that's what the move screams to me.
That's what I think.
Yeah, is it's just, and that's what the narrative is going to be from the outside media is that, the Oilers have already gone back to the well, and that's fine. It's fine. If it works and the Oilers are going to win the game, who cares? But I'm not a fan of it. If you were going to start the season like this, then I don't know. Just stick with your guys. Why did we bring Connor Brown in? To sit him on the third line? I don't know. It's just frustrating to me. But
Liam, what do you think of these new line combos?
I don't know. Not a ton. I think it's strange to go to Draisaitl and McDavid so early, but for me, it's the Van de Kane. That's the one that needs to show up now. If you're the one that gets to play with both those guys, you probably need to chip in with a goal tonight too, or a bit more contribution, and then also like a Brown. I know I agree. We brought him in to be a top 6 forward, but maybe do something, and you won't be on the 3rd line in game 3. Fogle, I said this the other show too. I think it's maybe a bit of a credit to the 3rd line of how well they've played. That now it's okay. Well, they've played well. Maybe they can get Brown going, and Fogle's been creating something. Maybe you can get the 2nd line going a little bit, which isn't good in game 3. Also, I think they should just go 11-7. Why not?
I like 11-7 too. I like the 7 defensemen. I like the having 11 forwards where you start circling or start cycling Connor and Leon through other wing combos.
I don't hate it.
I think this team plays well 11-7. I find it interesting.
Yeah, I think that's where it is though.
The 4th line is what you're going to go with is Adam Ernie, Matthias Janmark, and Derek Ryan. It's like
drop. Yeah, I would rather have Vinny out there, drop Ernie, and cycle Connor and Leon.
Spreads out the minutes on the D. I I think that's probably.
And it also throws a complication to the opposition. They don't know when Connor and Leon are coming out. They don't know who they're coming out with.
Yep.
And to be fair, if you're going to put them together, I prefer not starting that way. I like to sprinkle it in during the game because that's when you don't know when it's coming.
I'm fine with sprinkling it in during the game.
Like after a PK or something?
After a PK, after an icing, whatever. My problem has always just been when he goes to it full time. And
I guess. I mean, if you're doing, I don't want to say that 1-0, 2-0. I guess that when we saw it at the 3-0 mark or the 4-0 mark of whatever game that was, I didn't mind that much. But I preferred to sprinkle it in and to generate matchup challenges that the opposition is not ready for.
Another thing worth noting today. Well, there's a couple things. Matthias Ekholm goes back to Nashville for the first time. The content coming out pregame, adorable, wholesome.
Hey man, Barry, both cutie pies.
Cutie patooties. Other thing is that I want to mention though, Soup gets the start today. Anybody surprised?
Not really.
I'm not.
No.
I mean, I'm not. You could have said either goaltender, and I wasn't going to be surprised.
I think right now it's a rotation.
I believe
until somebody grabs it.
Win and you're in.
That's
fair.
I'm all in on that because neither guy's been great so far. Neither guy's grabbed the bull by the horns. But again, it's only been 6 periods, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Soup got 3 periods. Or no, 1.5.
Yeah.
2.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Skinner grabbed the net, like we said. I would also just like it to be established eventually because I think then you get to the part of like, oh, well, Campbell's won 5 in a row, but he lost. Like, is it Skinner's turn now? Like, something like that happens eventually.
He'll figure it out eventually. Yeah. But right now, win and you're in. I think that's how it's got to be. When you got dueling 750s.
And even in the first 2 games, it was not going to be that, right? We knew they were going to go 1-1.
Yep. But like if on Saturday night, if Stu shut the door, he'd be playing today.
Yeah.
Yes.
He didn't.
He did.
Jack's back.
Certainly did not.
The other thing worth mentioning is the Oilers are in Nashville. And I quote from Jason Gregor's game notes at OilersNation.com. Since October 27th, 2008. The Oilers are 9-0-2 versus Nashville, but has mainly been the Leon Draisaitl show. Draisaitl has scored 20 goals and 30 points in the first 10 games before being held off the score sheet in their last meeting. Leon Draisaitl very, very much enjoys playing the Nashville Predators, and man, would I love him to have a big night against them today.
I think he will, and I will be hitting it hard over on Betway. Plus 115 to score.
8 goals, 8 assists in his last 6 games played against the Nashville Predators. I've talked about this a couple times now. It's weird that this is the matchup he dominates. UC Saros, Roman Josi. Think of past years, how many good defensemen they have.
Pekka Rinne was there in that mix too.
Yeah, and Pekka Rinne's numbers like spectacular against the Oilers. Saros' numbers, even as a whole, last year wasn't great, but before that, spectacular against the Oilers. Nashville's known as a shut it down, win the game 3-2 kind of team. And somehow this is the team Leon Draisaitl is just unstoppable against. It's weird, right? Like if he was doing this against Chicago or Arizona the last couple of years or San Jose, you'd be like, oh yeah, he's just beating the hell out of a shitty opponent. But like Nashville's been a pretty good, respectable team for a handful of years.
What if it's the color yellow and we just need to get a yellow visor for him?
That's true.
It's like his bull color.
Yes.
You know?
No one's considered that.
Until now.
Could be an option. Yes.
Yellow.
Makes him angry.
Bring back the colored visors. Let's do it.
It's been a while.
It would be, I wonder what his numbers are compared to home and away. Like, does he just dominate in Nashville?
I can confirm he does. I was there for one of them.
Yeah.
Got a hat trick.
Because then maybe we should consider the yellow idea.
That reminds me now of when you guys were down in Nashville and he got a hat trick and Waz didn't throw his fucking cowboy Waz hat.
Oh, yes.
Even though Rick offered to buy him a new one.
It's ridiculous.
All right. So Leon Draisaitl in his last 23 games against the Preds has 31 points as the graphic you flashed up for those watching on YouTube showed. In his 12 home games against the Preds, 9 goals, 8 assists. Okay. Pretty good.
17.
In the road games against the Preds, 18 points in 11 games, 13 of them goals.
So he's
so
equal.
It is yellow. It is.
Well, no, I mean the point differentials. The points are almost the same there. Just he likes to.
But goals
he likes to score a little more. What's that?
Goals count as 3.
There you have it. There you have it. What kind of keys to victory would you have tonight if we're going to do like a simple show takeaway from any Sportsnet broadcast ever? Like Oilers have to be better in their defensive zone. Has to be 1. Need a save. Has to be 2. And somebody other than Connor and Leon needs to score a fucking goal.
I think that's the only 3.
I'll give you mentioned this is the classic Sportsnet vanilla hockey question.
Yeah.
I'll give you the classic answer. Limit mistakes.
Get the pucks in deep.
Score more goals than the other team.
Hey,
Like
I'm talking.
limiting mistakes. You go back to the last game. Like, how many mistakes did we say there were on the Lafferty goal? It was like Brown messed up, then Ekholm couldn't keep strides, then Skinner lets it in. 3 mistakes. The goal everyone's screaming at Darnell Nurse about. The 2-on-0 the other way where Nurse pinches in. Okay, Nurse pinched in.
Hit the net.
Obviously.
Please, we all know what happens if you miss
If you're going
here.
to miss the net, miss short side, not far side.
Yeah, like all-time bonehead play when you're on an odd man rush. Don't shoot the puck wide of the net because we know what happens. And the third thing, Darnell Nurse jumped up in the rush and was actually in an unbelievable spot to get a scoring chance. Ryan McLeod just had to look the other way and go, that guy's wide open in the slot. Bing. Instead, he passed it to Warren Fogle, who was almost at the goal line by that point. Not exactly a smart play. Cody Ceci jumped up in the rush and was about the distance from me to Rick away from Ryan McLeod, the puck carrier. That doesn't make any sense. Like,
But Darnell.
it's not even like it was one mistake on every goal. It was like they messed up 3 or 4 times on every goal and then finally got burned. And it's like, oh my
everybody
God.
made a mistake on that.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part of that 2-0 goal was watching Cody Ceci coast back to the goal.
Goodness, yeah.
Best view in the house. What other keys to victory do they need, boys?
I think we kind of covered it.
Yeah, I think we did it.
Less mistakes, play harder. Like, just don't lose the game. Like, you're good enough to go out. The Oilers are a skilled enough team that if they go out and play average, they will win 2 of every 3 games.
I'm thinking about a team who's having a hard time scoring 5-on-5 goals right now. So if I'm going to add another key to victory, make life difficult for Saros. He's very, very good. Get in his kitchen. I thought the Oilers actually did a good job of that on Saturday night of trying to get some greasy goals from right around the crease and hacking away at loose pucks. I love garbage goals. They're beautiful to me. And you're probably going to need to score at least 1 or 2 tonight against Saros.
Yep. Like we talked about that too. You look at the Draisaitl goal, get your nose dirty, go to the net. Even the McDavid goal. Don't just be floating around because it's a power play. Go to the net. Both of them got goals off that. The Nuge goal is just a sniper.
Yeah, you just
David may not get an easier goal than his.
Sell the work. Make your own
still
break.
have fish in there. You know,
It's fair.
worst of all was I had to listen to the first 5 minutes of Canucks conversation because David Quadrelli kept sending it to me over and over and over again
Oh my
of
goodness.
just pure trolling.
That man didn't say a word when he was in this office.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he steps foot out of our city, got a lot to say about himself.
That's right.
It's quite something. Called Aaron onto the show directly to make fun of him.
That's that little guy from over there.
I'm telling HR.
Little guy? Yes.
If we're chirping Quads for being small, he sat on the couch in the other studio to do Owen every day. His feet didn't touch the ground.
Come on.
Swinging.
Yeah, he was swinging his feet.
Aw.
He also
That's
said,
cute.
I'm not a Canucks fan.
He did say he was not a
Proceeded
Canucks
to
fan, and
say
then Quinn
how-
Hughes is the best defenseman in the league.
Hughes and Hronik were the best pairing in the NHL.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And
He's not a Canucks fan.
And then 10 seconds after that, he goes, I think we have a good chance of winning tonight. And I was like, interesting, Quadrelli.
Let's look at a guy who got bumped down the lineup a little bit. Connor Brown moving from the first line next to Connor down to the third line next to McLeod. He looks to me through a couple of games like a guy who hasn't played in almost a calendar year.
Oh, so exactly what he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to take
It's going to take a
10,
minute.
15 games to get going.
That's why I don't mind bumping him down.
No, and I don't think it's that big of a deal anyways, because I said this last year. I don't think we're a top 6, bottom 6 team. We have a top 9 and then a bottom 3.
Well, as of right now, I think we have a top 3 than a bottom 9.
All right,
but
well, we're
we'll wait
supposed
till
to have
they
it
get going.
when this team plays properly, when they play to their full capabilities. They're a top 9 and a bottom 3.
Another thing that's chapping my ass,
Bold.
penalty kill. Can't kill shit except my spirits.
Kill
Good
that.
line. It's a good line.
Thank you.
It's been bad.
What do you make of the PK right now? Again, we're 2 games in, but they're at like what, 50%?
Oh, it's horrible.
But like, and what are you supposed to do on the PK? Like the basic stuff, protect the middle of the ice, protect the front of your net. If they want to screw around on the outside, like you kind of let them.
Let them play on the perimeter all you
Yeah.
want.
And you look at the goals they got and it's like guy goes to the net untouched. Oilers defensemen are like, damn, went in.
It's almost like they're told not to do it. Like in a weird way. For me, that just would be such an instinctual thing to see someone go to the net
Yeah.
and do something about it. Where
But you're so like I don't know what they're teaching them now. But I know back when I was playing, you definitely remove the guy. But I don't think you
Right.
do that anymore because you get fucking penalty for those.
But
stuff.
it's like
No, you can play hard.
I think it was Ekholm who was the defenseman on the first goal. Is Ekholm or Ceci. Like, those two guys have been in the league long enough that
Kulak got burned on the other one.
Kulak was the other one, but they should have the instinct to be like, I don't care what you told me. This guy's in the way. Like, do something about it. Broberg was on the ice for both of them, but he was the defenseman further away from the guy who tips it. Just, I don't know, it's such a weird move to do nothing.
But that's the unfortunate thing. That's why the show isn't very good right now, because all we're saying is the exact same stuff. Is the team is flat tire in every aspect of the game right now.
I think the show's been fun.
Well, I mean, when it comes to like everything, we're all agreeing the same way. We're all saying essentially the same thing, but it's because they're just playing on a flat tire in every aspect of the game right now. There isn't one where they're like, okay, that's good. There's not one where like that's bad. They're all just, fucking 4 out of 10.
Bold take. Next year, instead of arriving early for the captain skates,
coming late.
Show up the day of.
Oilers opt out of NHL preseason.
Yeah.
They just go, none. We're not playing once.
See?
We're playing extra now.
Got to figure something out. Boys are too tired after those captain skates.
Sleepy guys.
We're taking a tour through Europe and playing their best teams for the first 2 weeks before we get over here.
Why not?
We talked about Soup getting the start tonight. What do you need to see from Jack Campbell?
Save.
Just
like,
simple, simple hockey,
do you have any
man.
numbers or anything you want to attach to him? Or is it still too early? Just make the saves.
I'm going back to the same rules last year. Won't complain if he's 900 or better.
No numbers visually. As long as he looks like if you feel like he was comfortable in net and had a good game, then you're laughing.
Yeah, I think that's a fair way to do it. But help the guy.
Yeah.
100%.
Help the guy in front and they'll be fine. Like, that goal is back to the same argument we just had. But there was that goal that stands out to me in the first game where they had 3 cracks at scoring a goal.
His third rebound.
Like, come on. Like, help the guy out a little bit. Take the penalty if you have to. I think that's it for Campbell for me, is like, the Oilers play good in front of him. Campbell should be fine.
One thing I noticed Vancouver did well on Saturday that the Oilers did not, that they could definitely help Campbell with, is clearing some shit out in front of the net. Whether that's pucks or bodies or both. Like Liam said, help the guy out just a little bit. Making the third save on the rebound, probably shouldn't expect that. He already made the first 2, clear that shit out of there. Let's wrap up the conversation about tonight's game against the Nashville Predators with a score prediction. Nation Dan.
I'm saying 2-0 Edmonton Oilers.
Wow. Ooh, a Soup shutout.
Yeah.
I said 4-2.
4-2. Stealing my thunder.
Yeah, stolen thunder.
4-2 win for me. Edmonton Oilers.
I said 6-4.
High scoring game. We're betting the over. Rick?
You're going to see a team go out there. You're going to see 2 guys dominate. You're going to see Connor and Leon dominate. It's going to be a 5-1 game tonight.
I said on Owen every day that if that second line, because I don't have a lot of confidence in them, Fogle, Nuge, Hyman, if they score a 5-on-5 goal, I'm doing a shot at Crown Royal live on the show tomorrow. Shot at Crown Royal.
Delish.
I know. Actually,
That's a
not
treat
that
for you.
Yeah, that is a bit of a treat for me, but still.
You know what?
Really?
If they don't get it, you have to take 2.
Swear?
No. Yeah.
A little treat for you.
That'd be a lot.
You know? Or
Right at the start of the show.
Or Tyler, maybe you treat yourself by ordering something via DoorDash.
Ding dong.
Did that on Sunday.
What'd you have?
Yep. Well, there's a barbecue place on the North End I really like.
Oh, I like it.
I sat down, watched football. The driver pulled up to my door, dropped off my 2-meat sandwich. Has pulled pork and brisket on it.
Attaboy.
They give you the barbecue sauce on the side. You pour it on
As you
top.
should, yeah.
So good. And it all comes nice and quick because DoorDash is the best.
Holiday season is fast approaching, and whether you're an over-eager celebrator or a party season hermit like myself, DoorDash has your needs covered. Stay stocked up for every gathering or a cozy night in. Keep your holidays stress-free with groceries, desserts, gifts, and more coming right to your door with DoorDash. Now, for a limited time, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and use the promo code NATION25. That's 25% off, up to $10 value, and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter the code NATION25. Don't forget, Dan. That is code NATION25 for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Offer valid in Canada, subject to change. Terms do apply.
What's the code again?
NATION25.
Got it.
We got a segment here, boys, called Who Delivered for our friends at DoorDash. So it's tough to pick one probably in the first 2 games, given how the results went, but you need to. For our friends at DoorDash, Tyler Ramchuk, Who delivered for the Edmonton Oilers?
I'm going to go to the third line and say, even though he maybe hasn't put up the points, Dylan Holloway has been delivering some really strong, consistent play for the Oilers. He's looked good. He's forechecking hard. I haven't seen the same sort of mental mistakes, turnovers, and things like that in his game that we saw last year. He's getting a couple scoring chances. Holloway's buzzing. I'm going to say he delivered.
Nation Dan, you got to pick out somebody for our friends at DoorDash. Who delivered in the first 2 games, Nation Dan?
Well, it's pretty simple. It's the Oilers captain. It's Connor McDavid. This team is struggling for offense, and he continues to give it to us. So the easy answer, the guy that delivers every time for Edmonton, is Connor McDavid.
Liam, you're up.
Leon Draisaitl. 2 goals, 2 games. At least he had a bit of a pulse around the net. I'll take that one.
Rick, who delivered for our friends at DoorDash?
Well, I'm ignoring that first thing on Wednesday, so I'm really only looking at Saturday. And there was only one guy with 3 points out there, and no one really said he's going to be able to do what he did last year when it comes to his points. So I think it's the Nuge.
He would have been my pick as well. Who delivered with DoorDash is Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Despite the results, he picked up 3 points. One was a 5-on-5 point, 2 power play points, including the snipe that led Tyler Yaremchuk to text me immediately because he's got the leg up, the low shot, and the fist pump celly. That is the Nuge trifecta. Again, our friends at DoorDash, we're talking about who delivered. Hit us up, Owen Radio Podcast. Let us know who you feel delivered in the first 2 games.
His first goal as a dad.
Dad Nuge.
There you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
On that topic, did you see Kemper, what he did last night after he got his first win as a dad?
No, I did not.
They won in a shootout against the Flames, and then Kemper did the little rock the baby thing after.
That's cool.
Why didn't Nuge do that when he scored? Would have been cute.
He could have I would have Simba'd.
Taking the puck.
If it was my first goal as a new dad, I'm Simba-ing.
Pick up Yamamoto. I guess he's not.
No more ammo.
Orlando.
It's a good way to get punched in the face. If there's anything about people who are maybe on the shorter side of things, I know they love being picked up.
What?
Quinn Hughes.
Quinn Hughes is really good.
How many goals
super
this season?
Dude, yeah, according to Aaron. I was sitting lower bowl for that game against the Canucks, and it's such a neat perspective to see how shifty he is and the way his head moves and the way he'll shake off a defender, and his facial expression has never changed. I've never seen him smile.
Soulless.
He honestly does look soulless, which makes it even more impressive. He doesn't look like he's having fun out there.
Which
He looks like he hates what he's doing all the time.
It's funny that his brother's Jack Hughes, because he has
Very
so
smiley.
much life.
Yeah.
And they're complete opposite. I wonder if Luke is just right in the middle there. A bit of both.
Jack got all the happiness.
There's only enough to sprinkle around.
Yeah.
What's the other one's name?
Luke.
How happy is he?
He should be pretty happy.
Playing with Jack, he's probably pretty happy.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why Quinn's sad.
Maybe that is why Quinn's sad. Free Quinn Hughes.
He's on the
Yes.
opposite side of the continent too.
Mm-hmm. No friends for Quinn Hughes. No friends at all.
You think they bug him? Send
They do just do
Some
buddy
FaceTimes and
selfies
stuff,
all the
yeah.
time, hey, and he's just sad, no.
Yeah.
good,
Mom and dad are always in New Jersey. Oh.
Yeah.
good.
Quinn Hughes is just always sad. They're like, hey, you're happy today. And he goes, yeah. Normally this is where I would invite Kennedy in, but we didn't really plan this out all that well today. So I'm handling word association today.
Oh.
What do you think about that?
It's a new wrinkle.
It's nice that someone else is going to have to see how difficult it is.
By difficult, you mean very easy for me to do?
I will be the judge of that.
By the way, Kennedy is working on a new game, a new segment that we're workshopping that we might introduce next week, and it's fun.
Instead of word association?
We might be killing word association.
Whoa. That is surprising.
I might just keep it in my pocket for special occasions. You know?
What's that meme where it's the dude at the funeral wearing the suit and it's showing up to my enemies' funerals or whatever, right? That's me showing up to the killing of word association.
See, I thought you were going to use the other one where the guy goes, "Oh no." Anyway,
Or the dude that's over the gravestone and just throwing up the.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh,
that was the one. Okay.
yeah. Sorry, that is definitely what I was thinking.
if there's one thing better than sharing memories, it's making new ones with word association.
These are my least favorite. I don't want to protect these memories. I do not want them protected by travel insurance.
Well, stay tuned for next week. We are going to upgrade this segment spot on the podcast. Alberta Blue Cross is the official travel insurance provider of the Nation Network, including the Nation Vacation that we are going to be on in less than 1 month's time. Going to Seattle. Going to watch a little hockey. watch a little foosball. I'm very, very excited about it. You should be excited about it too. If you're joining us, visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel for more information. Again, ab.bluecross.ca/travel. Get the travel insurance you need or just benefits. Get yourself some health insurance. I've got it. I'm a customer of Blue Cross. Liam, how do you feel?
It's very beneficial.
It is.
It's very helpful.
Welcome to the club.
Why'd you guys look at me as if like you have insurance?
You were the one talking.
Yeah. I was told you're supposed to look at the guy talking.
Well,
I wasn't looking at you, Liam. Don't worry.
thank you, Dan.
We will go through. I'm just going to go left to right, and I'm going to end with Rick. Dan, you're up first. We'll reverse the order for the second one. Snake draft it is.
Done.
Austin Matthews goal hype, Dan.
Do.
Liam.
Warranted.
Poppy.
Premature? They're saying 70. I'm only saying because they say 70
That's
or whatever. Like,
I saw the
brakes
article
here.
come out today. It's
Pump the
like,
brakes
can
here.
Matthews score 70? I'm like, sure, make it 200.
He's sick. He's so much fun to watch.
He is fun to watch. There's no doubt about it. But like, he does this also every year.
He's got to be consistent with it.
He's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Reversing the order. Rick, you up first. Saturday's loss.
Disappointing.
Tyler.
Empty balloon.
Hyphen in that one. Shitty.
Nation Dan.
Disappointing.
Just come back at you, Nation Dan, for our friends at Alberta Blue Cross. Leon versus Nashville.
Mayor.
Liam.
Yeah.
Inevitable.
King shit.
All right.
Hyphenated.
Yes, I
Hyphenated.
Hyphenated king shit, one word. We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
Rick, come back to you. You're up first. The new line combos.
Meh.
Tyler.
Unnecessary.
Liam.
Nuclear.
Dan. Nerve-wracking.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready for the last one, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
The lack of 5-on-5 scoring.
Concerning.
Liam.
Unexpected.
Tyler.
Same old.
Rick.
Worrisome.
There you go.
I think we need music behind this segment.
Why?
I think we need like a little like.
you want Liam
Would you like me to?
No, I just mean like.
Okay, you go now. Liam will make a beat. I'll just restart the whole game.
No, I just think like if we had a little music bed that just.
All right, here we go,
randomly
Liam. Ready?
cool.
Number one, Matthews goal hype. Yeah.
Do.
For Alberta Blue Cross Word Association, we are going to have a new game from Kennedy next week. It is going to be much better than Word Association, I promise you. She pitched it to me today. Very exciting. We're going to workshop it at Nation HQ. Watch out for a video on Instagram, probably.
I got a sneak preview. It might be really funny.
It's going to be fun, I think.
Yeah.
I just think we need to workshop it. I'm just thinking of Bag Milk's trivia game. Did not workshop before. Came on the podcast. Execution poor. You know? I'm going to invite my boy Waz in here. Waz he's been gagging to pitch a segment. So we're going to invite him on in.
Come on
But
in.
first,
Wes.
we'll step aside for a quick break.
Crazy.
I'm texting Waz. We'll see how long it takes him to get in here. Nation Daniel probably have to help him get into the door.
Oh, yes.
We can just edit this part out.
He's probably stood at the door waiting.
Probably. He's been have his ear pressed to the door the whole time.
With
This
a glass.
is something kind of like Waz's. Can you clear this up for me? I told him, keep your phone in area. There
he
you go.
is.
There he comes. Here comes Waz. Waz, you're going to be sharing.
Not in
you're
front of the
sitting
camera.
There's
anywhere.
no sitting down.
You are going to be sharing
It's a standing
mic
job.
with me. All right, Waz, explain the bit to everybody, how it works, and then I will always be the last one to answer your questions, given that we have to share a mic. Do you understand, Waz?
100%. How's it going, guys? So yeah, basically, often on social media, I'll see the same comments about the Oilers, things that are kind of negative, and I kind of want things explained in a way that I can also maybe share from you guys on socials, and just things that bother me about the Oilers that people say, and I'm like, that's kind of wrong, but I need someone who's smarter than me to clear them up, like Tyler. Very articulate.
Only
Is that a word?
Tyler.
Articulate?
Sure, just Tyler V. Waz.
Yes, basically.
Got to give a shout out to our friends at Greta. Of course, they are our official bar partner of the season. We had our season opener party there last week. It was a great time. It was great to see all of you. The folks at Canucks Army held theirs on Saturday. It was a great success. So watch out for more events from us coming up at Greta over the course of the season. Back to Waz.
All right, the first thing I want you guys to clear up for me is that the Oilers are running a near identical team to last year. Is this a bad thing?
Well, last year's team made the playoffs. That's a good thing.
Generally. Yep.
Last year's team made the second round of the playoffs. That's a good thing.
generally.
So yes, it seems like it's a good thing.
I would say it's a product of them being where they are in their cup contender window. It's firmly open. You go look at Tampa Bay. How different are they from the team that got eliminated at the end of last year? It's largely the same roster. You go take a look at the Colorado Avalanche. They had a disappointing end of the season. They also lost in the first round to Seattle.
Yes.
How different is their roster? They took a flyer on Jonathan Drouin, added Johansson, I guess. Like their top six, they didn't do any big crazy splash, right? Kind of similar along the lines of the Oilers. They added Brown and running back the same core. So I think it's just a product of A, the lack of cap space, and B, where they are in their window.
Yeah, I was going to say the cap space is just a product of the entire league basically being the exact same.
But they've kind of put together their nucleus of their team the last couple previous years, and right now, even next season, you'll only see 1 to 2 names on as a perimeter type of addition.
Yeah, they're at a point now in the infinibuild, as we call it around these parts, where it's just like you're making tweaks on the outer edges.
Yeah,
the core's locked in; they're all signed. There wasn't going to be that many changes. Now, that's not to say we don't hope for more changes. All of us were talking about an upgrade on CZ on the right-hand side of defense. Didn't happen. Will it happen closer towards the trade deadline? We shall see.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic. All right, so the next thing I want to ask is how, we all know the Oilers are a cup contending team. Some people still think and doubt that. So, as the back end was not upgraded or we have a weaker fourth line. So what makes the Oilers a cup contending team? Can you clear that up for us?
Connor
McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl.
Connor Brown on the third line.
I just think no other team can put out 2 guys as dangerous as the Oilers can. And that will always be a massive advantage. We saw it in the playoffs last year. Nobody else pissed a drop.
This league for forever has always kind of shaded towards its star players and giving them, the props that they deserve and expecting them to be in that championship game. So you have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl on the same team. You're going to be a cup contender.
I think that arguably, since I've been working here, this is, yes, Connor and Leon, for sure. The best 2 players on the team is not close. Not even worth discussing. But as a whole, this is arguably the best Oilers roster that I've ever covered working here.
Yeah, outside Connor and Leon, complimentary wise, this is probably 17 would be debatable. Other than that, you have to go back a long time when you were still in school. There was.
Yeah, we've debated the 2006 team versus the current iteration, and like you said, Rick, you can't. The X factor is just McDavid and Draisaitl. It just is. That was a really good team.
So you would say having McDavid and Draisaitl just gives the Oilers a massive edge over other teams, regardless of how good the defense is, the fourth line.
It does, but the rest of the roster complements them very well as well right now.
So I don't know if you guys have talked about this one. Connor Bedard recently has been getting a lot of media attention. Clear this up for me. Is the Connor Bedard media attention too much right now?
No. He's going through 5 of the biggest markets in the NHL. It should have been fully expected that this was going to happen for Bedard. He's also a talent that the league needs to push on people. It will eventually die down, but it has been an absolute gauntlet for them. What have they gone? Boston, Pittsburgh,
Chicago
will be obviously the home opener. Toronto, Montreal, and Colorado. That was it, Colorado? Yeah, to be expected.
And I think it was Frank Saravalli. I think he said on your show, Tyler, we die for this league to promote its players.
Yep.
We talk about it all the time that the NHL does a bad job of promoting its players. And now they're actually doing a good job of promoting a kid who's supposed to be, or hopefully going to be the next one. I don't see how it's a problem at all. Get the NHL out there, market the best players. He is one of the best up and coming young talents in the league. Showcase him.
Yes.
Most of the fight against this so far I've heard has been it's good.
Players.
But what about Connor? What about our Connor? What about well, guess what? It missed. It didn't happen. It's over. Get over it. Yeah. This is what they need to do now. And if they can do it right now with Bedard, there's no reason why you can't start to sprinkle in some Connor McDavid while he gets going this year too.
I was just going to say my counterpoint is that I think that the detractors that you're hearing are the Mitch Marners, the Taylor Halls, the current players in the league are saying that it's too much of this one kid. And that's where I think the league could take some time to spread it out a little bit, not just talk to Bedard and start talking to the McDavids and the Draisaitl's of the world too.
But on top of that, I think this year will be a big one for the league in the terms of promoting their own players. Like McDavid's on national TV in the US 12 times, which is the most he's ever been on. So they're doing a good job at trying to do that, but the schedule still does suck a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like this happens in every sport too. We maybe just don't hear about it. Like people who pay close attention to the NFL are sick of the Patrick Mahomes love. But it's necessary because you need that much attention on your stars. So casual fans, like, I mean, there are people in this room who are not the biggest NFL fans, but when I say who's the best player in the NFL, you know, it's Patrick Mahomes.
Tyreek Hill.
Oh,
Pinball Clemens.
He would have been, just needed a chance.
Reynolds.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. So the last one, we'll go back to the Oilers. And of course, it's been a big debate over the last 2 games. Stewart, Jack Campbell. Do you think the Oilers goaltending right now generally is good enough to go far in the playoffs and have a good, successful regular season as well?
Yes.
Right now? No.
Yes.
Not in this current moment because I don't have a lot of confidence in it. But in general,
The two goaltenders, yes.
my answer is probably just because we know they're each capable of getting on really, really hot streaks. And if that happened at the right time, it's Bobrovsky, right? Bobrovsky a year ago, flaming hot garbage, worst contract in the sport. Bobrovsky 4 months ago, holy shit, this guy's the best goalie in the league again. You just need guys capable of getting hot for a really long time. I can't say it's a for sure yes, but you also can't say it's a for sure no.
All I'm asking out of these guys once you get to the playoffs is average league goaltending, because the rest of the team is good enough that it should be able to get it by.
But
yes, it does help you if you can have a goaltender come out and make 1,000 stops in one game. But this team's not built that way. This team needs to be outscoring the other team, whether it be 2-1 or 15-2.
But what if you could get UC Saros?
Oh, no.
Oh, geez.
Tell him the trade.
Tell me the trade.
Tell him the trade. And just so everyone knows,
I feel like
Liam got mad at me about
this was bubbling up before we got here. Do you see how fast I said that?
No, for this on Oilers Nation every day.
I need to hear the trade. Go ahead.
This is my hypothetical for what I think it would cost to get UC Saros.
Okay, go ahead.
Jack Campbell, 2 first-round picks, Broberg and Holloway.
No, that's ridiculous.
Bro, you do
Are
it.
you
though. You
kidding
have
me?
to do it. You have to do it.
Hang on, I got a question.
Holy
He's
shit.
like the top 3 goalie in the league.
I got
You can
questions.
spend $1 million on a Ford Tempo too. Doesn't mean you have to.
Hang on, what year's the Ford Tepa? What does his contract look like and how long has he got left?
$5 million and he's got 1 more year.
Oh man, that's heavy.
This year and 1 more. So you get 2 playoff runs.
That is a heavy cost.
You can re-sign him.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Probably.
I have a question for that. Would you retain salary on Campbell then?
No.
Okay.
So you have to give up 1 first-round pick just to get out of Campbell. And then you're giving up Broberg, Holloway, and a first for Saros. Dan?
It's a steep price, but to me, if you can bring in a number 1 goalie that's going to pull the Bobrovsky or whatever for you in the playoffs, yeah.
Why are we hugging prospects?
It's not about hugging prospects. It's the fact that nobody pays that price in the league. So why
kidding.
do the Oilers?
Because
have
you
pay
need
that price?
you need to pull Saros out of
But
Nashville.
last season, the Oilers needed a top 4 defenseman, and it only cost them a first, a prospect, and
Barry.
Now you're
Yeah.
essentially doubling that.
But it was a 32-year-old defenseman who made a decent amount of money. Barry was a positive asset, not a negative. You're getting a goalie, more premium position, 4 years younger with that extra year at a premium cap it, and you're dumping a bad contract in the process.
That bad contract's only going to look better every offseason coming forward.
I think it might continue to look worse.
It can't. When your salary cap keeps increasing the way it's going in the next 3 years, that $5 million for having $7 million for 2 goaltenders is not that bad.
I just want to say I'm way more open to this than everybody else is.
I'm not against the idea of getting Saros.
No,
I'm
but
against
paying
the
that
idea
is-
of giving up.
No, I'm talking about the
much.
Philip
Philip Broberg is a borderline third pairing defenseman right now. Dylan Holloway is a borderline third line winger.
Here in a second. Broberg, I'm not really too fussed about losing that as a piece.
Me neither.
I'm pulling for him. I'm cheering for him. All that stuff is true. I want him to succeed here. You know.
But there's serviceable players in the AHL that could replace him.
No.
Yes,
What do
there
you mean
is.
no?
Ben Gleason could give you what Broberg gives you.
Holloway, that
Rick's
one,
gonna leave.
Holloway, that one would hurt. That would hurt me. Because we haven't even seen what he could be. The 2 first, man, but they should be low firsts.
Yeah.
But they're still first round picks.
But they should be 32nd overall, baby.
But they have hold value.
Sure.
I just think you're underselling what is in there. Essentially, you're giving up 4 first-round picks in some regard.
Yeah, no.
Like if it was
because
just
that's the way.
Would Philip Broberg get you a first right now if you went to trade him?
But that's not the argument. Last season, when Carlson was going through his process of being like, we want 4 first-round picks, and Jacob Chikrin was the same, they said that former first-round picks were equivalent to a first-round pick. So therefore, you're giving up maybe a late second.
But those were different situations because Arizona needed to trade Chikrin because he wanted out, was not going to sign there.
Yes.
Erik Karlsson's old and his contract sucked ass, and he had a no trade.
I don't know.
And Saros is in his prime, 2 more years, unbelievable cap hit, bona fide top 3 goalie in the NHL who would... He would care, and you're worried because you're giving up third line Dylan Holloway.
I'm not worried about what you're giving up. I'm worried that the Oilers don't need to pay that much because no one has ever paid.
If you could, I know, but not ever. But if you could get him for less, you could. I'm saying if that was the price, if you called Nashville right now, if I had Barry Trotz on my phone and I said, Barry, we're doing it. What's the cost?
Barry, where's your neck?
And he said that. He said that right now. You say no.
I say, give me Tommy Novak as well.
So then, but then now you're at the point where you're like, oh, I'm not getting the best goalie in the world or one of the best goalies in the world because they won't give me Tommy Novak.
I'm not saying I'm not 100% out on the idea of making that trade. I just think the Oilers can make a better trade if Saros is even available.
But right now, if Barry Trotz is on the line and you held the keys to it, do you say yes or no to that trade?
Today, right now, Liam.
Right now in the moment.
No.
Bring. Hello.
That's insane. I'm going, everyone who disagrees with me insane today.
56%
I'm not out of
of people
touch.
said
You're
no.
out of touch.
You take Holloway out of that deal, then I'm
all in.
You got to give to get, bro. Broberg doesn't have a lot of value.
But now
you're also
giving
tagging
up
on the
2
two first,
NHL.
though,
You got to get rid of Campbell, which is a big ask.
So in this, you got 3 firsts. If you're
3 firsts for Saros and a first to get rid of Campbell is how I justified that ask.
you get rid of Holloway, I'm in.
I would have to do more research on it.
How long is
decide.
it?
I think people are underselling Broberg still.
I think Broberg plays. He's gonna be okay.
Yes.
Right now in that deal, take away the names. You're giving away 3 NHL players and 2 first-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
Whichever way you want to look at it. You are.
Question: when was the last time we saw like a blockbuster goalie trade in the NHL though?
Never.
So that
I looked through this. And it was very difficult to find. Probably Luongo.
It is.
And then
Robert
Thomas
Luongo.
Vokoun. I think we spoke about this last week, actually.
Like there's been deadline deals. Like Fleury was moved at the deadline, but that's like a bad example because he was a pending free agent and all of that. Like
Corey Schneider
was
a
it 8th?
blockbuster, but it was
Eighth
Just remember what he did in Jersey when he got there, because everybody was telling you how good he was in Vancouver. They asked for the moon and the sun from us. Thankfully, we didn't do that. And what happened when he got to Jersey?
Ray Crawford ask.
So if you want the Luongo trade, I've got it. Now, just remember, this is in 2006. So we're talking about almost 20 years ago. Traded from the Florida Panthers along with Lucas
Krajcek
and a 6th-round pick who turned into Sergei Shirokov, went to Vancouver, and the Panthers got Todd Bertuzzi, Brian Allen, Alex Auld, and a conditional pick in the 2007 draft.
So Tyler built this trade off of that trade.
Wasn't Brian Allen like a 5th overall pick or something weird like that?
Brian Allen was a 4th overall pick. Yep.
Wow, you didn't give him enough credit.
Just like Tyler's not giving Philip Broberg enough credit.
So that's a monster trade. Weigh in on this. If you're listening to this, I would love to hear from you. ON Radio Podcast on Twitter and Instagram. Back to Waz.
One last question, more so for Dan, Bagnook, and Rick. You guys probably answer this. Why didn't the Roadrunners work in Edmonton? Like, can it work now? Ooh. And the Flames have, the Hitmen and the Wranglers, so I'm just kind of curious about that.
Well, easy answer is that this city is the Edmonton Oilers city first, and then everybody else after that. And it's tough for any hockey team to try and grab that bit of market space there. But I actually was one of the first people that emailed the Roadrunners and told them they're going to fail. There you go. I got that old email. I can bring it up.
Why would you do that?
Why? That's so mean.
I just had a feeling that this was a bad idea to move them out of
I
Toronto.
like that you felt the need to email them.
I know.
about it, though.
Back in the day.
Like they literally came here in a season we didn't have hockey.
It was a lockout.
Yeah, they left Toronto and came here from Edmonton. I also told them they were going to fail in Toronto. That was another part of it.
I'd love for the Oilers farm team to be closer, but at the same point, Bakersfield isn't that far.
Dude, we have airplanes.
Yeah, exactly.
This is ridiculous. Like, you need your junior player to be, or you need your AHL player to be down the street. Why?
And also, people may not realize this, but the Oilers do play on the road.
Yeah, like it makes
they're
no
not
sense.
always at home.
You gotta have them in the same building. Why?
If you said bag milk, you're going to have the AHL team in Edmonton. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Or it's in Bakersfield.
See, that's just it though. Like, no, Dan was right. This city doesn't show up for that.
That is 100% true.
We're about the Oilers and not anything else. Otherwise, you'd see more.
Hawks.
How many people showed up for when the Well Kings were pushing for the dub? Not a lot. Not as many.
At Rexall, they were.
Okay, that's fine.
Sell out and it was unreal. Mostly because the Oilers stunk.
But after that, and then you look at the Golden Bears, who are always up there. Tyler, you're at every single game.
Those games are packed down the stretch.
But you're talking about the same people going. You don't have this. You don't have a wide variety of people going. You have the same people going, right?
Students, yeah.
Frankly, I don't give a fuck if anybody goes to watch the AHL team. It'd be cool if they're here. That's all I'm saying.
I think you should always see.
That's why, you know what, I'm like,
if they're not,
we talk about having like the girls league come here too, right? And I would love to see it, but at the same time, I don't want to see a franchise come here and nobody show up because they're only going to see the Oilers and then it fail.
Edmonton does have a bit of a reputation of not being a hockey town, being an Oilers town.
It's 100% true.
Well, there you go. There you have it, Waz.
Good. Thank you. That's all I had. You guys were
good
amazing.
questions.
Good social content. Thank you.
Waz, you didn't even take notes though, so I'm not sure what you're getting out of this.
Yeah, Waz, I want a full report back from you afterward on everything you've learned today. You file that with Dan by 4 p.m. There goes Waz.
He might take that seriously.
I would love to read that. If he does that, I'm going to read it on the next podcast.
There you go.
There you go. That is Waz's. Can you clear this up for me?
Thanks, Waz.
There you go.
I thought it was going to be one question.
Me too.
It was better that way, probably.
Yeah, it was good questions.
Yeah.
It was. I liked how it was all questions we hadn't really discussed on the show.
That's exactly it.
The AHL one, we've never talked about that.
I assumed it was going to be like home improvement questions or something.
I was very worried the first question was going to be something like, why do we always play Dom Nell Nurse or something like that? We've reviewed this already.
No,
they were good questions.
Yeah, because like I was like, man, this doesn't work. We're going to roast you for it.
They were good.
Yeah. So stay tuned for more. Clear that up for me with Waz. We'll just make sure that he has to maintain a standard of the questions. Before we wrap up the podcast, I just want to look ahead at the schedule a little bit. So tonight we discussed at length the Oilers are in Nashville. Do you like that they start off 2 losses and then they hit the road? I kind of do. Bring the boys together a little bit. You can go for dinner. You can kind of be,
I feel like
a little jealous.
Especially in Nashville, like they had 2 days off.
Nashville.
A little guilty today?
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact they get on the road for a couple early. Like, I mean, you can't really predict how they're going to do in the first 2 games, blah, blah, blah. But I do like getting on the road and getting some bonding time early.
I think it's a good place to start the season.
They finish off the month on the road, actually. We've got Nashville tonight, obviously. We've got Philly on Thursday. That is I know must-win game is ridiculous thing to say.
Don't even say that.
You got to beat Philly. They suck ass.
Yeah, they do.
Dude, Toronto lost to Chicago last night.
I don't care. Toronto won their first 2 games.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, every team in the league is hard. Every team in the league can bring it at any given night. Go out and play your game. I don't think you can worry about who you're playing against. You need to go out and do your own thing.
Did you see Chicago's power play is 0%?
Yeah, but that'll happen.
I'm just going to Chicago. I'm interested to see like how long it's going to take Connor Bedard to learn things that aren't working for him right now at the NHL level. Because some of the moves he tries, you'd be like, that worked in junior.
Yeah. Can't win a face-off to save his life.
Well, nobody can in their rookie, it seems like.
We had on Daily Faceoff Live every Monday, we have John Goyens. He was a coach in the Q. He's been a coach for a long time. He comes on and gives us film breakdowns. And he broke down the first ever power play the Hawks got in the Bedard era. The Penguins played him like he was Ovi. They had 2 guys and they basically boxed him out. Like he was in that Ovi spot and they played him identical to how they would play Ovechkin. And like the attention he's getting is crazy on the power play.
Who's on their power play though? Because I feel like that's
Perry,
Seth Jones
didn't play last year. Did any of these guys play with each other last year? Because Halsey wasn't there, Bedard wasn't there, Perry wasn't there. If Jones was there, none of those guys were there. Who's the 5th?
Lucas Reichel, I think.
Yeah, Lucas Reichel. He also pointed out that there's a bunch of chances. You go pull up the segment on the Daily Faceoff YouTube if you're more interested in this, but there's been a bunch of chances they've been generating where Bedard will like seam a pass through 4 sticks and the guy like won't have a stick on the ice, or the guy will like get it and like not be ready to shoot. And Bedard keeps setting up our chances, and everyone on the Hawks is like surprised they're getting the look.
That's why I said he will not get 100 points because the rest of the team sucks.
That's what I said too. I don't think he will. I think he's on pace right now for 77. Maybe that was before last night's game. Which would be the fourth by a rookie in however long.
The fourth most.
It was like worked out through like error data or whatever they call it.
Error adjusted.
Yeah, that one.
Just to finish off the schedule here for October, we've got the Jets late on Hockey Night in Canada on Saturday. Then another 2-day break, and they are in Minnesota on Tuesday. New York Rangers on the Thursday, the 26th, and then nothing until back home
29th.
on the 29th, which is interesting because right now I'm looking at
+5 for the record.
How they have it on their website is weird this year. It's like, get flights to the Heritage Classic. I'm like, but I don't need a flight.
Go to the airport, go up, come back down.
All right, well.
You can start drinking earlier.
Let's go to Chili's.
Drive to Red Deer, fly back.
Amen. There you have it.
It's really,
+5 right now. I think was the last I saw for the temperature
It's a little too warm.
it's really hard to tell what's a home game and what's an away game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Oh, this Saturday's a home game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, I made plans. I got to cancel them.
oh, so this Saturday's a home game?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's red square circle.
Yeah. Like what? I literally
They
just,
used to be completely different colors.
I know.
Orange and blue. Usually.
Okay, so they do other. If you were yelling at your radio like 10 minutes ago, 5 seconds ago, when I said the Oilers finished this,
Well, I was curious because of the 29th, I was like, well, regardless of what it looks like on there, everyone should know what the 29th is.
We listed the opponents. You figure out if they're home or away.
I am literally going to that game, and I was like, "It's on the road. Where am I going?" Anyway, well, that's
Gonna
why I
wear
wear
a few less layers for that game than the original game outside.
That's why I wear a helmet wherever I go.
Safety first.
Often confused.
We've had more podcasts this year than the Oilers have had games
That is true.
That is true. And wins.
You know what?
and wins.
Amen. Lastly, I just want to give a quick shout out to our friends at Cornerstone Insurance. If you go check them out at cornerstoneins.ca, use the promo code NATION. You can get yourself a little discount on your insurance products and just get a quote right there on the website. You know you need insurance. Get it a little bit cheaper. cornerstoneins.ca/nation. Gentlemen, final thoughts ahead of tonight's game against the Nashville Predators.
Just win, baby.
Yes. Make a save.
Make a save, score a goal, get the win.
Just do it, Leon. Just handle this one. We're good.
It's my other one.
Worry about the team effort later in the week in Philly. Just do this one, Leon.
Or at home against Philly, whatever.
Who knows? I don't know. Every day, like this website sucks. Every day is going to be a guess for me. I'll be like, are the Oilers at home tonight? I don't know.
But you know, it's the red square now.
But you know what? Way too difficult.
Red
last
square
year it was
home.
orange. Orange home.
Why is it a red square for a team that has no red in its colors?
Oh, because it's
Fix
the
this.
Rogers wrapped in red event.
Oh,
No.
Don't even start.
no. Oh, it's going to be the worst.
Can't wait for it to come back.
Anyway.
I'm still upset with the NHL for making this game and this exact time and everything. Like, we should be in Nashville for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck
They-
the schedule maker.
Yeah, Tuesday,
they-
the second week of October.
So now you'll get away from the schedule maker. You'll be on my train. The NHL schedule sucks, and I will never ever defend it.
You wrote about this yesterday.
Oh, it's horrendous. Yesterday was 7 games at 5:00.
I love it. I need sensory overload and then a 20-minute intermission to relax.
Hey, hold on. I was in bed at 9:30 tonight last night. I was all good with that.
How's scraps going right now at Hockey Fights?
Really good. Really good. If you'd like to check out some of the fights, we got the fight of the year probably already from Alex Gallant and Jeffrey Veal of the Wranglers and
Oh, that was a good night. That was Saturday or
AHL on
something.
Friday night that was. And then Reeves fought Xhekaj in the opening game and fought Marcus Foligno in the second
Got
game.
jumped.
And
Didn't you hear
well,
it? Didn't you hear it?
Yeah.
Didn't you hear his quote? He got jumped.
Fortunately, and just like the schedule makers with last
Hang on a
year.
second. I didn't actually see the fight. Did Wi-Fi actually jump him?
No, he hit him from behind. He hit the
Yeah.
guy right in the numbers for one. Dude was right up against the boards. I think that kind of like relieved him from getting his penalty. And then Wi-Fi was right there and just turned him around. He didn't
Reeves-
jump him.
Reeves has been throwing his body around noticeably
Good.
in the first few games. So
Good.
Nothing wrong with that.
Love that.
It's good.
Did you notice who fought last night?
Did I notice?
Yeah. I
Which
did.
one?
Oh, Noah Gregor.
Well, Noah got in his first scrap last night, but yeah.
What do you do?
Then
Pretty good.
That one wasn't much of a fight there. That was a good tussle.
it was based off of a hit. You can see it on Hockey Fight social media.
Yeah.
It was a hit that wasn't really a hit, and the Blackhawks were convinced it was dirty, so they fought.
It was taken care of as something that happened in the previous.
Zaitsev.
However,
The other fight was
our old friend Clem Costin
with Gabranson.
Yeah, he threw down really nice.
There was quite a few comments online afterwards from Red Wing fans, and Red Wing former player Darren McCarty commented and said that the Red Wings have been missing that from their organization for a long time. So
I already miss him. In fact, no offense to Adam Ernie, seeing him wear number 21 hurts my heart a little.
Bit disrespectful.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And if Kennedy brought back the 21, can you do something for me memes? Like, it doesn't hit the same.
No, I won't.
You know?
Should have probably just re-signed that guy.
Anyway, that's Oilersnation Radio for a Tuesday. We'll be back Friday. Go Oilers. We'll be talking about 2 wins on the next podcast. You can book it with Liam's money.